So, what happens on a closing day? I feel like this is something that a lot of people might not know exactly what entails. So, I figured I would just sit down and break it all down for you guys. Hi, guys, welcome back. If you are new here, I'm Rebecca. I'm a realtor based here in southeastern Idaho, and I make videos every single week talking about pretty much just all things life in Idaho, tips for buying or selling here, things to do here, and kind of just life in general as a wife and a mom and a realtor. But in today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit more about what to expect on a closing day. I feel like some buyers, especially if this is your first time going through the process, don't really know what it means when I say closing day or what goes into a closing day and what it means for them. So I figured I would just sit down and break it all down for you guys. So let's jump on in. All right, so closing day is basically the end of the home buying process. It's when the sellers and the buyers sit down, usually not together, but they both go into the title company, sit down and kind of just sign all of the required documents and essentially just seal the deal. So closing day is when everything is officially finished. It's when everything is done and the keys are turned over to the buyers and they are now homeowners. Usually closing is anywhere from 4 to 6-ish weeks after your offer has been accepted on a house. Normally, right now, I have been doing 2 to 3 week closings if we can, just because that usually makes your offer a little bit more competitive against others, but it always depends on the situation, especially if the sellers are looking for a little bit more time to arrange their move or whatever it may be. So closing timelines can vary pretty drastically. But in general, I would say anywhere from 3 to 5 to 6 weeks right now is pretty standard. And really, the whole escrow process, so from the time your offer is accepted on a house to the actual closing date, is considered the closing process or the escrow process. You'll hear those terms kind of thrown out a lot as part of that whole process. But closing day is actually the last day when everything is officially signed and everything is officially done. So, in terms of what actually happens at closing, like I said, that's when the property is officially transferred from the sellers to the buyers. But what goes into that is basically just signing a lot of documents. You will probably be overwhelmed when you walk into closing and see a stack of documents like this big sitting on the table waiting for you to sign. But it actually goes pretty fast. A normal closing takes just about an hour, and a lot of that is just because your escrow officer is talking through the documents with you as you're signing them, breaking down what's on the papers, telling you where to sign, breaking down the fees, things like that. Other than just signing things, it's also when your closing costs are paid. So you will bring, you will either bring a check for your closing costs or the money will have already been wired to title. That's for things like down payment, title and escrow fees, mortgage insurance, homeowners insurance, everything that goes into your closing fees. And all of that will be broken down on your closing document that says what all of that money is for and where your money is going. And basically, that's just when the deed of your new house is going to be updated to reflect that you are the new owners of the house. And there's really not a lot that you need to bring to closing. It's usually just a driver's license or some type of photo ID and your cashier's check for your closing costs if the money hasn't already been wired ahead of time. After that, once all of the documents have been signed, it kind of depends on when the sellers are signing as well. Normally, in my experience, that's done the same day, usually within a few hours of each other. And then after you sign, at least here in Idaho, there is a little bit of a waiting game. From there, you leave and kind of just go kill time, usually, in my experience, until title will contact me, your realtor, and tell me that everything has been recorded with the county. So that means that the paperwork has officially been filed, county has recorded it, and the home is now officially in your name. It is fully 100% your house. And then from that point, your realtor will either usually meet you at the property to give you the keys out of the lockbox, or maybe the keys have already been dropped off with the title company. And if that's the case, then your realtor can go to the title company and they will release the keys to your realtor, or in some cases, the buyers can just go pick them up from title directly if your realtor can't get out there or whatever it may be. But that's basically what goes into a closing day. It's not really a big scary thing like some people might think it is. It's really just the last official day of the process when everything is done and you can kind of take a breath and just kind of have a sigh of relief and know that everything is done. You've made it through the process and you are officially homeowners. And I know some of this will vary just kind of depending on where you are. Every state does it a little bit differently. I'm sure title companies and everything like that vary too, just depending on what state that you're in, and kind of the processes that go into that. But this has been my experience just working with different title companies and different lenders and everything like that. But if you have any other questions on anything that I didn't cover in this video, or if you have any specific questions for your situation or anything like that, feel free to drop them below or just contact me directly. I'll leave my contact information in the description box below, and you can always feel free to connect with me on social media. But whatever I can do to help, I would be happy to. And until my next video, I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.